What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of Tokyo Ghoul Season 3, or Tokyo Ghoul Re, whichever how you want to say it. And overall, love this episode. I'm loving the way Suripera is taking this, although I'm sure Chibi is probably still going to have another, probably over 10-minute long video about that Suripera got this wrong, and this wrong, and that wrong, and this wrong, but hey, whatever. I'm loving the series. So yeah, let's begin. So we started this episode off with some dude, like on his knees, like, Master Shu, do you feel anything from these pair of fucking boxers I gave you? Which those boxers are actually Haize's boxers. Yeah, remember when Urie gave Chie those boxers? Yeah, she worked for Tsukiyama. Yeah, and he's like, I feel nothing, but they do feel familiar. And just tosses them away, and the dude's like, this is Master Shu. This is heartbreaking. Like, I mean, I guess after what happened in Tokyo Ghoul, from what I remember, at least from what I heard, so whatever happened in Tokyo Ghoul, because it looks like Re did. So the last episode of Re, or not Re, Route A, at least parts of that last episode were definitely part of the canon material. Like later on, so we do see, Tsukiyama's actually in the same position he was when Kaneki left and he was bald, because I was like, please don't leave Kaneki. Like, he's the exact same position on probably like the same roof. So I'm guessing when Kaneki pretty much went MIA and turned to Heisei, I guess Tsukiyama just hasn't gotten over, and he's just laying in this room like a vampire. Like, his nails have grown like he's practically a vampire in there. Anyway, so then we get to Urie. We get to where he gets the okay from his superiors, but hey, about the treatment to get a higher to up his level on his Kagane, because there's 5 ranks or levels or whatever it is, and he wants to up that. And then he starts tell me, why do you want this procedure? Is it to revenge of our and Urie in another internal monologue? I love Urie's internal monologue. He's like, stop crying and just give me the approval already. And then Arima actually shows the superior asks like, hey Arima, what's your opinion on Urie getting the Kagane upgrade? And he's like, did you get your approval from your mentor, Heisei? He's like, yes. Do you know the risks? Yes. Okay, then go get it. Okay, then cool, let him have it. And he's like, okay. So yeah, then he has this procedure, just like it happened in the end. Or later, just happened when we saw bits and pieces of it in last week's episode, I mean. So then we're back to Urie, where he pretty much is just staring at me, and he's like, Arima, acknowledge me. And then he pulls out, he doesn't really feel any different after the surgery, but so then he pulls out his cog and I gets to just look at, see if it looks any different. So it's like, I'm not gonna lose control, unlike Heisei did, which I guess he's referring to the multi-personality disorder Kaneki is dealing with, while being Heisei while having Kaneki in the back of his head. So then we get back to Heisei's house. Urie is chilling, reading the newspaper, and then Shirazu shows up. He's like, hey, Urie! And he puts his hand on him, and he's like, hey man, you feeling okay? And he's like, I've still got Jesus. Sorry about that, my mom. Anyway, Urie, so he's like, why are you? He's like, you're not funny, and get your hand off of me. So then, after that, Shirazu tells them that they let the CCG have located where the Nutcracker is going to be at this club, and so he says hey, we're going to also be working together with Juzu Squad for this mission. He's like, Juzu. And then he's like, all right, let's go get Psycho. With Psycho, she's chilling in her room, playing her PSP in her room, and Urie and Shirazu, they just kind of knock on the door and be like, hey, Psycho, come on now, and she's like, no, let me play my PSP. He's like, all right. So then they both grab their Kaganes out and bring the door down. He's like, and they just look. It's Psycho's just like, you use your Kaganes to break down the door. And he's like, get your ass off. And so then he explains, about Nutcracker the case, and he says and Psycho, she's still in, but she's still like, nah, I'm good. And then he says the CCG are attempting to fire your ass. And she's like, wait, what? Yeah, you have not really been pulling your weight. All you really have been doing is just eating out of our fridge, playing your PSP in your room, not really done anything. And he's like, and the CG are thinking about trimming the fat a little. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm in, okay. He's like, all right, we're leaving tomorrow at 7. And she's like, all right, see you tomorrow. And then goes immediately back into her bed. So then after Toru puts the door back into place, Shirazu says, hey, Urie, thanks for helping me out with getting Psycho on board. And he's like, Yeah, no problem. I've had some time to think about my actions. So after that, we go back to the CCG. We're in a boardroom with Heise, Akira, Urie, Toru, and I believe also Arima was also not Arima. No, just those three and this CCG. I forget it does, but he doesn't have any pupils. I was like, bro, you a zombie? So why don't you have pupils? So then he talks to Bruce and top like, hey, okay, so we're doing the Nutcracker, blah blah blah. Juzu shows you like, Sahelize! His hair is black, and also he does sound in the dub, because like I said, guys, I'm watching the series dub until like the same day sound aren't happening more, then I have to watch them sub just so I don't have to wait 2 weeks. Anyway, it's like literally Juzu's voice sounds a little different. I don't know if that's just me. Or, he changed his voice purposely because, I guess Juzu's kind of a little different in Re because his hair is no longer white and it's black now. He doesn't, act as, I guess you could say, out there as used to because he was always like, oh, Ma, I better be a good boy. But, he doesn't really act like that. So, probably in, I think it was, 2-year time skip between Tokyo Ghoul and then when Re happened, I'm pretty sure. So, I'm guessing Juzu was like, alright, I'm dyeing this hair black and I'm being a little more of a normal person. I mean, she's still wearing the slippers and has those stitches all over his body. So there's that. Anyway, when he hugs Heise, he starts patting him down. He's like, and then he starts pulling out a bunch of these sweets that Heise brought for him. When he's like, you always come through for me, Heise. And so he continues, and the next Urage is like, even after I told Psycho she's gonna get fired, she still didn't bother showing up. And then Shirazu comes in with Psycho, and he's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Sauce. I tried to carry her lip, but he's like, no worries. I know Psycho's a handful. And so then after they talk about Arima, not Arima, I keep getting their names confused. Akira Mado said hey, you're gonna be working with them on this operation to take down the Nutcracker. So then we get back to they're about to walk out the CCG building, and Urie tells Heise, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. He's like, oh yeah, right. So yeah, he goes to and he actually says nothing. He's fine, but he said his RC cells are unstable, which I was like, holy shit, they mentioned RC cells? Holy mother of God, they actually mentioned RC cells. I think this is the first time the anime has ever acknowledged how Kaganes work with RC cells. They don't go on a full-out exposition how RC cells, but they at least mention RC cells, which I was like, alright, you finally mentioned RC cells, it's about damn time. So then we get back to Chie there, and the guy that we saw earlier in the episode with Skiyama, and he's pretty much referring what happened to Heise that we saw with Skiyama beginning episodes to her until hey, these boxers didn't work, and he tells no, yeah, these are from Heise, blah 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 blah, and then we get this little flashback that she actually knew Skiyama from I think it was high school, and we actually see little brief snippets of when Skiyama he had a different haircut as well, but he was still Skiyama, and then we see her actually when Skiyama was it looked like he was about to kill Chie, but he ended up not doing it anyway. And then at the end of the flashbacks, we actually see that part in Route A. We saw when Skiyama's on the bed on his the side on top of that building. He's like, don't leave, Kaneki. He's bawling his eyes out. He's very much we see Chie just on top, and she's like, get well soon, Skiyama, it's boring without you. So then we get probably the most comedic part of this week's episode was actually earlier in the episode. Isaac actually talked with the rest of the crew, telling, hey, we're going to this nightclub to go track down the Nutcracker, and we're all dressing up as women. Yeah. And so we get to the club, Heise is dressed as a woman, they're all dressed up as women, and when Shirazu's trying to act like women, it's hilarious. He's trying to it's probably he's pretty much flirting with his dude. He's like, ooh, you're a cute boy. The dude just is creeped out. He just runs away. It's hilarious. And so they know it's Nutcracker. They try to just gather their attention because it said one of the ingredients she needs is female. So, so they're undercover, and then Toru's kind of just, chill. She's got to get a little subconscious, and Heise says, don't worry, you look fine. And then she sees some champagnes, has to take shots of that, because I was when I saw it, I was like, yep, you're probably going to need a good couple shots of alcohol for this. And then next time we see her, she's fucking drunk! I don't know if she had, or yeah, she does look like she's drunk. I don't know if she was just the one she immediately got drunk, or she had a few too many shots and then got drunk. But then she starts getting all over. She starts getting to the Nutcracker, but she ended up managing to get inside into her and get her to where the auctions happen, where the pretty much just gonna be it's pretty much more or less just human trafficking. They're just selling off humans to ghouls, whether they eat them or or just keep them alive and treat them as slaves. That's up to their discretion. So they get the plans, they know what's happening on November, which I'm pretty sure that's actually Veterans Day as well. And so he relays this information to a superior at the CCG who was not a fan of the Quinks program. And then we get to, then after that we see, and then he says actually Toru has to go in there alone. He can't, Isaac can't join him or none of the Quinkses. And she's like, wait, why not? He's never been all solo on these kind of missions. He's gonna need some support. He's like, they might pat her down. We can't have anyone backing her up. And then Juzu comes. He's like, hey, I could come in. It wouldn't hurt to have a backup from the inside. And he's like, all right. And then he looks at Isaac, being like, I got you, brother. And so after that, we get a little training montage of while the dates are coming down to November 11th. We see Isaac training with the rest of the squad. Tell them hey, don't ever let go of your weapon. Just train to get them ready for the battle at the auction next week. And then we also see, for some reason, Urie is painting. Yeah, we don't even see what he's painting. We just see him painting. And I'm like, why are you painting anyway? So then, after that, we pretty much just get to the last episode where we see, and that's essentially where the episode ends, with also in the ED, or not the ED, like the next week preview, we see them at the, we actually then get back to, what was Toko's brother's name? Toko's brother, his name is slipping my mind for some reason. Anyway, we see him meeting up with Eto, and she's so like, hey, your job is to just guard someone. You can bring Torso with you. He's like, Torso, you're coming with me. He's like, oh, okay. And then when we next say, Toru's body. I was like, bro, relax, Jesus Christ. So then we get to the actual auction before the CG come in, guns ablazing, just level the place. We actually see other Tokyo Ghoul members. So we actually see the guy that actually Jason used to work with. We see him. We also see some other guys, and we also see the Scarecrow in there. You get a little snippet of the Scarecrow. Now, for any anime only, I'm not gonna spoil who he is, but when I saw, I was like, ooh, I'm looking because I do know who the Scarecrow is, but I'm not gonna spoil it for anime onlys or people that are not caught up with the manga or have only read like part 1 and they haven't started read yet. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil who the Scarecrow is, but I was like, but knowing who he is, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Because then I know okay, I get it. So yeah, that was kind of a nice little thing to see him there. And yeah, and then the episode ends with like the CCG superior, I forget his name, saying go in, just Operation Begin. And so that's what it said. Overall, I really did this episode. The comedic bits at the club with all the guys dressing up as girls. That was kind of funny to see. So overall, really did this episode. I'm loving what Studio Paragon's doing. They're definitely, like I said, they're being more like manga. Their pacing is definitely a lot better. The first episode was a little too fast. So, I mean, it was a dynasty chapter, but it looks like they will be sticking to the usual 12 episode, not 12, two chapters per episode. Jesus. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what else. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the Attack of the Ox, because that's gonna look very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So yeah, overall, my final verdict is a 10 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I feel like links on the search box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.